For more on this, criminal defense attorney Whitney Boan joins me now. Whitney, good to see you. Following these indictments,
good to see you.
Where are we in the special counsel probe?
Well, where we are is that we've already obviously had a number of American individuals, some of whom were connected to the Trump administration and the campaign, even if there's not been any links in terms of what they were accused of or what they've been convicted of as it relates to the Trump campaign. And then now we have these Russian individuals who've been indicted as well in terms of a direct link from the Russian government to these hacks of the DNC and the DCCC. So where we are at this point, although everybody's quick to say this exonerates Trump and other members of his administration, is that we have this indictment, and that doesn't mean that this is the last indictment. It just means at this point, this is where we are. So it doesn't exonerate Trump, as Giuliani has said, or implied at least. What it does is it indicts these individuals, and it sets out clearly this happened, we're aware of the details of it, and I think it really sends a deterrence message to those who are seeking to hack into American intelligence.
Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein offered this context to his indictment announcement. Take a listen to this.
There's no allegation in this indictment that any American citizen committed a crime. There's no allegation that the conspiracy changed the vote count or affected any election result.
Whitney, what's your read on that guidance from Deputy AG Rosenstein?
Well, this is an ongoing investigation. Like you said, this is the point where we are in the investigation. No one has said the investigation is over. The way DOJ investigations work routinely is that they're building a case. They build off of some cooperating defendants, and they get to further information from those cooperating defendants to then possibly indict additional defendants. So what he said at this point is that there's nothing in this indictment, as is clear on its face, that is alleging that any American citizens interfered with the election or that the election results were somehow affected by this Russian interference. That doesn't mean that they're saying it didn't happen. They're just saying that's what they're doing at this point, and that's what's in this indictment. So the investigation continues, and whether or not it goes any further in terms of Trump or his administration is a question that we don't know the answer to yet at this point.
As a criminal defense attorney, does that comment make some American citizens breathe a sigh of relief, at least for now?
I don't know that any of us should be breathing a sigh of relief. And in terms of saying that, you know, we're in a situation where if the amount of detail that's contained in this indictment is actually backed up by evidence and facts, then we are subjected to a huge amount of vulnerability that I'm hopeful that our counterintelligence is now better prepared to handle moving forward. We are subjected to having our election process compromised in every way at every juncture, even if not in presidential elections. So the sigh of relief may be that at this point we don't have a president who's listed in an indictment or high-ranking officials in his administration for direct collusion with Russians who were seeking to interfere with our election process and did. We still don't know the whole story. We need to see what the rest of the investigation ferrets out.
Right, it's not over until Robert Mueller says it's over. What about the timing of this announcement, Whitney? Does this suggest that Robert Mueller may be getting close to wrapping up his probe?
I'm not sure if it does. In other words, again, the DOJ investigates things in a way where it sits in wait, it lays in wait, and it waits for the truth to trickle out. If there is no truth to Trump or his administration colluding with the Russians, then let the time it takes be the time it takes for that to come out. If it is there, it may take time for that to come out in terms of continuing to make people targets of investigations, continuing to indict individuals, getting those individuals to proffer or to go and speak with DOJ prosecutors and investigators regarding what they know or don't know about any of the Russian connections to the Americans as it related to the 2016 election in the DNC.
What about President Trump's criticism that this Russian meddling happened while President Obama was in office? What does it say about the Obama administration's response?
I think that we can clearly say at this point that the way that the Obama administration handled the information that it had as early as September of 2016 could be called into question in terms of it was definitely worthy of, probably in hindsight at least, a bigger reaction. However, again, this is an ongoing investigation, and there was a lot of concern, as we've learned through the Schrock hearings and through the Inspector General's report. There's been a lot of concerns not only by the FBI but by the White House under the Obama administration in terms of not interfering with the election process. The irony is, however, then the election process was interfered with anyways. So certainly I think that things could have been handled better by the Obama administration. However, that does not exculpate President Trump from the way that he's reacted to the information that he's had during his administration about the Russian hacking, about now the Russian government's connection to this hacking,
right,
and what his response has been in terms of interacting with Putin and making maybe capricious at times statements, minimizing the efforts of our intelligent law enforcement individuals.
Criminal defense attorney Whitney Boan, thanks for your time and analysis.
Thank you.